Saturday night in Sheffield, a snooker superstar is in town. Ronnie O'Sullivan has done the photos and autographs. Now it is down to the serious business of trying to win one of the most famous trophies in British sport for a sixth time. But he'll need to get past Wales's Matthew Stevens first.
I like to pace myself. I'm not 21, I'm not 30, I'm kind of a bit older now, and I know what my body can take and I know what my mind can take, and sometimes you have to kind of look at the bigger picture. I don't want to be having too many wars.
I think it's more mental with me than anything. You know, if I feel good off the table, which I am at the moment, you know, my best snooker comes out.
In 2012 we had a great game. I mean, I was playing some good stuff and he just wouldn't lay down. I just thought, oh, this geezer's a nightmare, you know, so he shouldn't have reminded me of that game. I kind of forgot that one. But yeah, no, it was a tough game, and I was pleased to come through it, and in many ways when I look back on that, that was probably my hardest match.
I've had lots of ups and downs here in Sheffield. When you come back here again, it's all in the memory bank, and you know, you go out there and you feel good, and you know, the crowd are there, you know, the cameras are on top of you, and I just feel at home.
No one's got any divine right to do well here or win it. I think it's as open as any tournament is, you know, and so no one's guaranteed to do well or get their hands on this trophy, so all you can do is just kind of go through the process, if you like, of, you know, just trying to get through each match and each ball at a time, really.
Whenever he's in a tournament, everyone looks at him, you know, if he plays well, he's going to be a handful, but you know, I'm going to go in there with a lot of confidence and nothing to lose. If I lose, I lose. If I win, I win. But I'll certainly give it my best go.
I think for some of Matthew's ability, you'd think he'd have won more. But we all know what a great player he is. He always plays well in the World Championship.
You've got to play well. You've got to keep under pressure. Because if he gets ahead of you, you've had it really. If I can play well, hopefully I'll give him a good game. I don't need to play well.
Hello, very good evening to you and welcome to an electric Crucible Theatre here in Sheffield, where Ronnie O'Sullivan has lifted that famous old trophy on 5 occasions. The man who beat him in last year's final, Mark Selby, the defending champion, sensationally knocked out of this year's World Championship by Scotland's Anthony McGill, which means for many people, Ronnie O'Sullivan is the man to beat. Tonight he takes on Wales's Matthew Stevens. 2 more players into this year's quarterfinals. The 4-time champion John Higgins was knocked out after losing 13-9 to China's Ding Junhui. Ding, the world number 3, started the day 9-7 up on the Scot before taking 3 of the first 4 frames. Higgins tried to come back into it, but Ding held his nerve to advance. And another ex-Crucible winner, Graham Dott, also said goodbye to the 2015 tournament following a 13-5 defeat to Stuart Bingham. Bingham, who reached the last 8 in 2013, needed only 2 frames to seal his place, achieving victory in style with a break of 104. The world number 10, with 2 ranking titles to his name, was calm throughout and will play the winner of O'Sullivan v Stevens. So many congratulations to Ding Junhui and Stuart Bingham. This is how the draw looks tonight. Well, this is the biggest story of the tournament so far. Anthony McGill knocking out the defending champion Mark Selby. Joe Perry takes on the 2005 champion Shaun Murphy. Mark Allen has a slender lead over Barry Hawkins. Ali Carter trailing Neil Robertson, 2010 world champion. Ding Junhui through to the quarterfinals, 13-9 victor over John Higgins. Marco Fu and Judd Trump get underway tomorrow. Graham Dott knocked out Stuart Bingham through. And tonight, it's all about Matthew Stevens v Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yes, and I'm standing in the commentary box with the 2 men that will be casting their beady eyes over proceedings tonight. 7 times world champion Stephen Hendry, Dennis Taylor, the 1985 world champion. Stephen, if I could start with you, Ronnie O'Sullivan, apart from Shoegate, business as usual in the first round, how did you assess his form, first of all, coming into the tournament and how he played in that first round?
Coming into the tournament, obviously didn't play in the first tournament before this, the China Open, so we didn't really know his form. He was impressive enough in the first round, but he wasn't put under any pressure, so it'll be interesting to see what Matthew can do.
Yeah, and for Matthew Stevens, proven pedigree, Dennis, particularly in the World Championships. He's had a very good record here and a fantastic win over his compatriot Mark Williams in the first round.
He absolutely loves the Crucible Theatre. He's had 4 semi-finals, I think, and could have won it on one occasion. Sean Murphy played unbelievably well to nick it off Matthew 10 years ago. And then his good friend Mark Williams beat him in the final in 2000. So he loves it here at the Crucible Theatre. And as you said, he's back playing the way he did quite a few seasons ago with that win against Mark Williams.
He's a streaky player, Matthew Stevens, but he won't be afraid of the big occasion, will he? I mean, something like this, the Crucible Theatre, playing against Ronnie O'Sullivan, the big favourite, it could inspire him.
He's got all the talent in the world, perhaps hasn't achieved what he should have done with his talent. He's beaten Ronnie on a few occasions. He won't be frightened of him, but it's one thing saying that and one thing doing it out in that arena. So I can't wait, because if Ronnie's not on form, Matthew's well capable of beating him.
Yeah, well, the crowd is waiting, Rob Walker is waiting, and the players are standing by. Over to you, Rob.
Thanks, Ken. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What an atmosphere we've got once again here at the Crucible as we approach the halfway stage of this year's Betfred World Snooker Championship. And it's top quality drama every single step of the way. Please welcome one of the best break builders in the modern game. He's been in some epic matches and some great finals over the years. Made the semis here 6 years ago. Made the UK Championship final in 11. And he's twice a ranking event champion in China. He is seriously up for it and ready tonight. So please welcome the pride of Northern Ireland. He's the pistol. He's Mark Allen. And his opponent, a player who has produced the best snooker of his career over the last 3 seasons. Runner-up here in 13, he made the semis last year. He's won the Aussie Open and the PTC Grand Final. In his 10th year at the Crucible, he's looking for a 3rd successive quarter-final. He's the world number 5. He's the Hawk, Barry Hawkins. On table 2, please welcome a player who so often produces his best here on the big stage in Sheffield. Beating one of his best mates, Mark Williams, 10-2 in the first round. Here he is, aiming for a 10th Crucible quarter-final. Winner of both the Masters and the UK Championship. It's the Welsh Dragon, Matthew Stevens. And finally, a player who's been thrilling the crowds here for more than 20 years and winning ranking titles even longer. He is without doubt still snooker's box office draw, the reigning UK champion, the 5-time world champion. Blink and you'll miss him, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jason.
first
What a
frame,
reception for
Ronnie O'Sullivan to
all
break.
the players this evening in the Crucible. And a little bit of screaming there, Stephen, from Matthew Stevens. There must be quite a few travelled from the valleys to see this very popular Welshman. There's the tournament pot success rate. Even Stevens at 91%. Ronnie just ahead in the long pot success
Can you change the
department.
sound of your earpieces, please? Some of them are a bit
And
loud, thank you.
ahead in the safety success as well, but he is one of the finest safety players the game's ever seen when he wants to be, Ronnie.
We'd have to say it's a big first session. In this possible 3-session match. I know what a good front runner Ronnie is when he gets going, so really important for Matthew to win this session or stay with Ronnie at least.
Seems to be a nice comfortable pair of shoes he's got on there, so no toe pinching tonight. Well, that would be an early bonus if he could make the plant. He'd be playing the safety shot, but yeah, he could make that. Yeah, well played. Doesn't want to hit the yellow. He could do with slipping past it. And it might just have gone far enough. Well, he needs to get off to a good start, you would have to say. And it might be an early good start after watching that plant go in. He has this mannerism of looking at the angle before he then gets down to the shot, Matthew, is something he has always done.
Three.
He's found a nice little gap to play the red closest to the right corner. Stun for the black.
4.
So this is what we'd be hoping for when he was in the dressing room. A nice chance in the first frame, get his hand on the table and amongst the black. Strikes the ball lovely, Matthew Stevens. Very natural cue action.
11.
Without a doubt, in my opinion, underachieved
Well.
in his career with the talent that he's got.
Well, there's one thing for certain. He doesn't look like a world number 35, does he? He looks
90.
like a top 8 player, the way he's played in this year's Betfred World Championship, has to be said. Might have to take the pink this time. Much easier to get on the 2 reds that are loose there. Well, even in a 3-session match, we always say you never settle till you get the first frame on the board, and this is an early chance. That's the number he's looking for there, 69. That will leave Ronnie needing a snooker. Olivia Martel going to find the spot for the pink directly behind its own spot in a straight line. Olivia, refereeing his first ever final this year, from Belgium. Works in a hospital and gets time
26.
off to go around the world refereeing. Charming gentleman.
Already looking for an angle in the black to go into the bunch. Always best to open the pack when there's still loose reds. So then if the
27.
split of the pack isn't successful, hopefully you're still on something. You'd like to screw into the joint of the red and the pink here. That's exactly what he's done, and he's unlucky.
He certainly is unlucky, because look how the white kept spinning back through the reds. Couldn't have hit it much better than that. And has he spotted another plant? Well, there you go. Possibilities. It started with a plant, this break. And a natural angle to come around onto the pink or black. Well, this would be a bonus.
Matthew Stevens, 34.
Bit unlucky with the split, and almost pulled the plant off.
Made that pot look easy. It's anything but your first shot in the first frame.
Seven.
Just taking his time here, Ronnie, just making sure he doesn't make any unforced errors.
8.
To play for a balk colour there, because the red is blocking the path for the blue. He'd play for that red that's near the left middle pocket now. Oh, needs to pull up, and it has.
10. $11.
Had a fairly comfortable first round win against Craig Steadman. Craig never really got going.
$16.
Probably play for that
17.
red at the back of that little group of 4. I mean, he's got a cannon to cannon into them if he wanted, but better just to play for that one. And now he can move the reds, and he'll open the 3 up and should come through for the black. That's what he's screwing it back, so.
$25.
Had a choice there of running through or screwing back. Opted for the screw back and just finished a little awkward.
Sure.
He's got to avoid the green here and brown. That split, Matthew couldn't have played it any better. I'm just unlucky to cover everything up, and the plant didn't quite come off.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that result. The only safe red in the table is that it moved it into a potable position, into the right centre.
I think
31.
pink will be available here also. Play from blue if he chooses.
32.
Just 2 points behind, and only the one red next to the pink that's a little awkward. Could have played that better. Just about okay.
37.
62 points he's looking for to leave Matthew needing a snooker.
38.
As I say, the one next to the pink is going to be the key to taking the frame.
$43.
You'd have to say both players look to be an excellent touch. Matthew obviously unlucky with his split of the pack. You'd have to say if he had a good split, you'd fancy him to go and win the frame.
44.
Since then, this has been excellent also from Ronnie.
Misjudgment there. Bad misjudgment from Ronnie. It's not like him to just get down and pot the pink
50.
and cannon the red onto the cushion. Is he going for a double here? He looks a little annoyed the way he swiped the table there. He knew a bit easier that would have been in, but it was the cannon when he knocked the red safe that annoyed him a little there.
I think he may have left his red to the right centre. Thin cut.
Can he see enough of that red to take it up into the corner and get himself onto the black? He's come round just to see if he could do that. The only red he could see would be the one he's taking on, so he feels as if he can see enough of this red. A little bit on the thick side. He doesn't want to hit the yellow half ball, and he has. That's left a chance for Ronnie. When you play safety shots against this man, you want to get the white as close to the cushion as possible. And that's the reason why.
One.
I think he's just okay. Or is he? Maybe not. He wanted to be on the brown, but it's gone just a fraction too far, and he's too close to the yellow. The blue's not a lot of use to him. He's had a look at that. So it's amazing what a fraction can make at this game. See, you can only see the edge of the brown, but he's very close to this yellow. To pot it and get right back up to the red. He's having to dig down a little bit. Well, this table seems to be quicker this evening than it was this morning.
He looks like he's easily irritated tonight. A couple of tough shots that have gone wrong. He's looked very annoyed with. So if I was Matthew, I'd be spotting things like that.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 3.
That's a very good shot. Acknowledged by Matthew there with that tap on the table with the cue. Very little sticking out there, so off the side cushion. Surely he's not taking the pot on. That's a strange little angle, very difficult. No attempt at the pot. And you need a little bit of good fortune coming off the ball cushion to hit the red. Chance of getting a snooker behind the green or the brown, but also a chance of knocking the red over the corner pocket. It's not bad. Needs to keep running that red, and it hasn't. Oh, maybe just enough. He's not snookered, but can he see enough of it? Because if he could see enough of it, he'd try and snick this in and come back up the table, but it's quite a thin contact that he would need. No problem with the safety shot. I think he was looking to see if he could see enough of it to hit the cushion first and hit it from behind, but I don't think he can. Going to have to hit it direct. Well, it's a pretty good cue ball, but the red is a possibility. The white may come between the green and the brown towards the right middle pocket here. depending on the pace he plays it at. So just keep an eye on the cue ball as well here. Has it bounced enough for Matthew to take the pot on? Couldn't see enough to take the pot on. What a pot he was urging the white on because he can't get through to the blue.
Yeah, you definitely have to say that one of the balls Matthews had in this first frame has not been great. Ronnie missed a long pot a couple of minutes ago and left it safe.
Matthew Stevens 1.
Made that look very easy, but not easy to judge the half ball contact escaping from that snooker. That's almost a snooker, I think. Not quite. Didn't play to pot that. So the 18 points advantage doesn't really mean a great deal here, because all the colours are on. I think whoever pots the yellow would take this opening frame, which is turning out to be a fairly long frame. Looked like it was going to be over quite quickly, but it's coming up to 24 minutes. Some good safety going on here. That's another little beauty. Well, that makes a big difference now that the blue's gone safe, but well, Matthew has got a couple of choices. He can take the pot on, but it'd be so easy to get a snooker behind the blue. Struck that beautifully. Didn't hit that very hard. Lovely cueing. But it's all about that blue now that was knocked safe.
Five.
Oh, he looks a bit straight on the brown here. He's pretty good with his left hand, and he's just queuing up there, so that tells me there's a slight angle on this, or he's going to screw it straight back and across the table behind the blue. Yeah, it's a screw shot. And it's pretty good.
9.
Excellent positional shot. I think to give this blue every chance of going in, you have to play it slow. Maybe just follow through for the pink into the right centre. I would say most players would prefer stunning. If you play with more pace, then less chance of the blue dropping in. That's why he's played the slow. Good shot.
14.
Well, psychologically, this would be a terrific opening frame for Matthew if he pots pink and black. There's the pink.
20.
And a pretty comfortable black. Just coming up to 27 minutes. But Matthew Stevens won't worry about that. Ronnie had his chance. He didn't take it. And it's the Welshman who takes the opening frame. It's 1-0.
As quietly as possible, please. Thank you. Quietly, please. Thank you. Thank you. The second frame. Matthew Stevens to break.
Nothing easy for Ronnie, because if he takes this red on, he'd have to get it because there's a red next to the black that he would leave. That was his thoughts pattern there. How should I play this? And he played it in such a way that he was trying to get the white back up the table for safety, and there's a red that Matthew can go for, and the pink's available. Well, that's a beauty, and he can play for this red that's next to the black. So an early chance for Matthew. He's just looking to see if he does that, as we show you, his almost dead straight pot. But that red's almost on the black spot, so it won't affect things. Well, he looks to be carrying on from where he left off with against his good
7.
friend Mark Williams. I mean, Mark said he didn't play very well, but Matthew played superbly well against him.
8.
Lovely angle. Again, there's a gap between the one loose red that's just away from the bunch. Well, he's looking to play a cannon on that red to the left. I think if it was that the red that he was looking at and the loose one, if he got in the gap of those two, the reds would open up really nicely. Well, they're ready lined up. He hit it absolutely plumb. Great shot.
15.
He's got every shot in the book. Matthew Stevens.
$16.
Boy, take these chances, doesn't he, Dennis? Really got to keep Ron in his chair.
Yeah, he
19.
knows that only too well, and you can't pot balls when you're sitting there. He's a great player to
20.
watch, Matthew. Very attractive cueist. He really is. I like his mannerism around the table. Very fluent player.
$26. $27.
He was a bit unlucky in the opening frame when he went into the pack,
34.
but he doesn't have to do that in this second frame. The balls are nicely spread here. Once again, that target is 69 points.
35.
Best of 25, so it's played over 3 days. We've got 2 8-frame sessions and then a possible 9-frame session.
$42. $43. $50.
Well, the first frame lasted only 27 minutes. This one's only been going 6 minutes. Matthew, with that famous extension of his, one of the first players to use one.
Thank you. $51.
It's a nice little shot there, and
58.
he played it too well. It's a lovely bit of run inside.
59.
Really is striking the cue ball as well as you can. Getting maximum work out of the cue ball.
Wow, what a start from the Welshman.
66.
It really is a bit special, it has to be said.
$67.
This black will guarantee the second frame.
$74.
The last time these two played was in the
75.
Welsh Open back in January, and Matthew won that 4-3, so he's certainly not frightened of Ronnie. And why would you be when you can play like this?
$81. $82.
Well, what a shame, no century break. But I'll tell you what, Matthew Stevens didn't look like missing with that effort. He takes a second frame, and he's given Ronnie something to think about. He leads 2-0.
Thank you. The third frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Not the best shot in the world. He needed that white tight in the cushion. One next to the black will pot. He's had a look at that. He's had a look at the one up to the left of the yellow. So it's a tricky little pot and not a straightforward positional shot. He couldn't have played this much better. I mean, he hit the red, the back of the pack, then another red, but he deserved a good kiss there after that excellent pot. Now we'll find out how well Ronnie's cueing, because he didn't have much of a chance in the two opening frames. Well, certainly not in the second frame, that's for sure.
Probably follow this cue ball through off 2 cushions. Leaving a nice low angle on the black to maybe go into the bunch.
Thank you. Thank you.
Landed a bit straight to do that, I think, so if we're going to loose reds.
$60. $17. $24.
Well, one of this red to the middle. Will they play it with check side? Let's come back down for the black. No.
25.
Probably more important to just get this third frame won, Dennis. Start thinking about things like that.
Well, he's a bit like yourself. There's a sniff at a chance of a maximum break. There's a nice prize on offer. You're always after it, but it's more important that he gets his first frame on the board here. Because even someone like the great Ronnie O'Sullivan doesn't settle until he gets his first
29
frame on the board. And he's having to work hard here because this is the second time he's had to use the extension. So striving to get himself into prime position.
Thank you.
Now they're all covering each other, I think.
30.
Might just be one red at the back. Even that's tight, and he hasn't got a good angle. Well, if that's a plant, that would help. Just going slightly to the left of the pocket, that I think. But he could make it.
He was disappointed with his positional shot, though. I think he played on with the yellow there to be able to come off the side cushion and go into the bunch.
Well, that red I mentioned at the back, that group of reds may be on, but he's back thinking about the plant again. No, he's still playing for the red I mentioned, but needs a bit of a bounce off the cushion. Now, if he's landed on that,
34.
to play that shot with your left hand and get that pinpoint position was superb. Oh, he's missed it. Oh, now that's a couple of little things that's happened this evening, and we haven't seen this for quite some time, but he is disgusted with himself. But he could have damaged the cue the way he hit that on the table there. Quite a while since we've seen Ronnie react like that. He's going to have to regain his composure.
He's a little bit fortunate Ronnie hasn't left this red over the pocket. But if I was Matthew, I'd certainly be gaining encouragement from things like that. He can keep taking his chances. He could win this session comfortably tonight.
That's a poor shot from Matthew. This red, in fact, will cut into the right corner. Matthew knows that he should never have left a chance at a red there. It was a poor safety shot. That's a pretty good shot. It's a tricky little one though, along the cushion, but if this goes in, every chance. It's not a gimme. It's, ooh.
5.
Wobbled it, but it's safely in. And every chance now to go on and take this third frame, and that might
12.
just settle him down because
13. $20. 21.
looking good for the frame now, but I'm just wondering when he hit that cue, because it's made of ash,
28.
English ash, and it's quite easy to put a little dent in it.
$29.
$70 ahead, 67 on
36.
the table, so looking like 2-1.
37. $44. 45.
Is that going to reach? Just.
51. $52.
Just enough there to make a century break. He's made a few of those, hasn't he? Overtook the great Stephen Hendry's record.
59.
He's now made 788
60.
centuries, has Ronnie. It's got a big bounce that might
67.
spoil the century.
Thank you. 68.
Well, have a look at this for a positional shot.
73.
Yeah, there's
75.
nothing wrong with his cueing. If he's been a bit irritable with bad positional shots or missed pots,
78.
there's nothing wrong with his game.
And another fabulous positional shot. We've had 36 centuries so far this year. This will be 37. Well played, Ronnie O'Sullivan. He looked very annoyed with himself. Nothing wrong with that cueing. He's made a magnificent century break, and he's got his first frame on the board. It's 2-1 though to Matthew Stevens.
quietly as possible, please. Thank you.
Well, that might just settle Ronnie down because he looked a little bit annoyed. There was a couple of little things happened in the first few frames. But when he missed the rail after playing an unbelievable positional shot with his left hand to come all the way around the table, he missed this, and well, he wasn't a happy chappy because he did give the table a good old wow. That slow motion, you could see how much the cue bent there, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little indentation in that cue, but that would be quickly forgotten about. But wow, what would have happened if the cue had a snap there, Stephen?
Quietly, please. Thank you.
That shot was incredible, wasn't it? How much the cue bent. Here, watch this. Wow. It wouldn't take a lot more, I think, to snap that. You hope for the cue's sake, no more misses like that. But after that, it was just fabulous, the century. It really was. Cue ball was on a string.
Thank you. Frame 4. Matthew Stevens to break.
After a long first frame, almost half an hour, the second and third frames was 9 minutes and 11 minutes. More like the sort of frame time I was expectant from these two. Both like to get on with it.
Look at that average shot time from Ronnie, 18 seconds.
Just wondering if this red cuts to the left corner. It's a thin one. He's having a good look, Matthew. It definitely pots, but it's obviously when he cuts that thing, you've no guarantee where the cue ball is going to end up.
Well, it was a thin one, as Stephen suggested, and the mid-session interval coming up after this frame. And well, he's feeling good, Matthew, but that probably was just maybe a bit too thin. This is where I was going to say the left hand's so useful, but that's just too much of a stretch.
Sure.
Hasn't missed with the rest yet. He's only played 3 shots, but
Thank you.
that's not bad. Can use his left hand here.
1.
I think he played for the pink to the left centre.
So he's good with the rest. He's pretty good with his right hand. He's very good with his left hand.
Just a moment, please, Ronnie.
Can't find any weaknesses. Just having a bit of a problem with the old teeth there at the moment.
Thank you. 7. Eight. 30. 14.
Slight change of plan. Played for the blue there, it's just gone a bit too far. Did have a look at the red next to the black a few shots ago, so he's well aware of what's available up
70.
the black spot end of the table.
18.
Got such a quick brain, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Pot success rate 94%. Now that is excellent. Purposely played up this time to leave an angle to go into the bunch in the pink. He has one loose red. There's two loose reds, but the reason he played up for the ball colour was to be able to open them up. Well, it's not bad, but he's got to play back for the blue. He was hoping to bring the pink into play also there.
Just wonder if he's got an angle to play this red off one cushion and flick the red away from the black. The red is closest to the left corner. Now he's playing up for the blue again, as you said, Dennis.
$29. $34. $35.
Well, that just tells you he's almost straight on the blue, so he can't get close to the easy red. Which means he's got to get a good angle on the red to be able to get back for the blue again. Yeah, he's purposely left a slight angle so that he doesn't have to screw it straight back.
40.
He's going to come up short again.
41.
It's getting more difficult. Now just one red available. Watch the cue power. Watch that top spin. Send that white spinning around the table. Have a look at this. He's on his way around the table. He knows it's perfect.
46.
Looks like he's a nice angle to follow through and flick the black out, but
47.
he's having to work hard for this break. Pink and black been out of commission for most of it. This will be a good shot. Disturb the bunch. Some good cueing here.
Well, luckily for Ronnie, he didn't catch the reds. But it needed a good shot, as Stephen suggested, to pot the blue and move the reds. Now Matthew might, as we show you the attempted pot, as I said, luckily he didn't move the reds, but I'm wondering if Matthew might just attempt a double here. It's not a natural, but it's getting the red away from the black. No, just the attempted snooker, but you can see the edge of the red. The fact that Matthew didn't get in behind black left that opportunity for Ronnie, but how well did he play that? As I mentioned at the start of this match, when he wants to be, Ronnie O'Sullivan's as good a safety player as we've ever had in the game. He's not only the greatest break builder we've ever seen, but he's right up there with the best tacticians we've ever had in the game. 86% is safety success rate. 84 the whole tournament. Yeah, that could be the end of frame, that, because there's 3 reds available, and that's all he'll need. As Matthew looks up at the monitor, he'll know that there's 3 fairly comfortable reds that are available to Ronnie.
Wow.
As long as he's more than 51 points ahead when he gets to those 3 difficult reds, the frame is safe.
4. Five.
No problem whatsoever with the angle he has on the green, just to screw up for that loose red.
Eight. 9. $16.
Just 51 remaining on the table. 63 behind.
And the frame.
Matthew has conceded. Great start from the Welshman, but Ronnie's come right back at him with 2 frame-winning breaks, and we go to the mid-session interval. All square.
Quietly as possible, please. Thank
Even
you.
Stevens at 2 each. We'll be back in about 15 minutes, so look forward to seeing you then.
Quietly, please.
where I live. Hope that you spend your days, that they all add up. When that sun goes down, hope you raise your cup. Oh, I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. But until my morning comes, I'll say
little bit of advice if you're a young player and you've qualified for the World Championship for the first time. Try and go in under the radar. There have been players that have made the big entrance, namely Jimmy Mickey. The gold, silver, sparkly waistcoat, the big limo, 2 girls in his arm as he walked in, collapsed. Mark King, on one of his first ever matches at the Crucible Theatre, had a special waistcoat made with an exclamation mark on one side and a question mark on the other side. He looked like the Joker, and unfortunately on that day he played like it as well. Coughing in the crowd isn't a problem. The biggest problem of all, as we all know, are boiled sweets. They put them in their handbags, and when they get them out and they rustle the paper bag and then get the one boiled sweet out and unwrap it in the cellophane, it makes a lot of noise. They try and do it slowly, which makes even more noise. They try and fold the wrapper up, which makes even more noise. Instead of crunching it quickly, it's a slow fold. This is more annoying than coughing. The nerves, the tension, the excitement, the importance focuses the mind. Yeah, perhaps you might get tired towards the end of a session, but then perhaps you just need to eat a couple more bananas along the way. Perhaps bananas is the future. The first thing to decide is, after your first round match, should you win it, are you going to go home and wait, because it's quite a big wait before your next round match, or are you going to stay up there? That will determine how many pairs of underpants and black socks you actually put in your suitcase.
all you need is your own.
Back in the sort of 80s, it wasn't so good. It was a bit of a concrete jungle, but the council changed it all. There's fountains, there's cafes, it's a lovely place now. But if I have a day off, even if I'm working for BBC, I take a trot up to the record collector shop out of town, and there's another one just a little bit further towards the university. I find the record shops, but then that's just me, I'm a sad record collector.
I'm sorry. I'm staying here. You play and I'll referee.
It's very simple, you guys.
I know it is. Right? Right. Don't argue, please. This is a world championship. You play. I'm staying here.
I'd like to have the same chance as everyone else.
That's a lot of moisture. The conditions are not as they should be. Well, that 63 clearance was something else. Marvellous.
For the pride of the Midlands, the Coventry City fan, Brian Wright.
Lisa, you're amazing. You're my soulmate, and I love you with all my heart. Lisa, will you marry me?
Every time I touch the table, I get a static shock.
He got a little bit of a shock there off on the carpet. He's got another shock there. It seems to be obviously when he's near the cushion. That really kind of stung. Keyboarded bounce. If he misses the ball again, he'll be warned.
He has missed the ball again, so now he'll be warned.
You'll lose a friend.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Oh my goodness,
He's lost the frame. He's lost the frame.
Oh dear.
I think that's probably the first time in Crucible history we've seen that happen.
Snooker is a game of sticks and balls, played on a large green flat table with pockets.
And whoever gets to the table first wins. So give me that stick. Give me that stick. Oh, I've got a splinter in my thigh.
Players use the white ball to hit the other balls on the table.
If you can't handle a cue, you can use your face. Right. Oh, look at that, got one in. Hey, I'm better than you, cocker.
If a player pots a red ball, they get 1 point.
If they pot a purple, pink or black ball, further points can be awarded, unless they hit a blue ball, in which case the table will self-combust. Or not. There is also a green ball, but because the table's green, it's invisible. Steve Davis will now position it and take a lovely shot. There it is. Good shot, Steve.
If the white ball is too far away, a player is given a rest.
Oh, Steve! After their rests, players continue hitting red balls with their sticks forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Will it ever end? Forever.
The Women's World Championship may take place just an hour north of Sheffield, but it is a world away from what we see every year at the Crucible. Despite the success of female players like Alison Fisher and currently Rhiannon Evans, the women's sport is moving in a worrying direction.
15 years ago, it didn't take off at all. It was probably one of my biggest disasters. There was 120 odd women in the World Championship, in their version of the World Championships. This year there was 20 something. So we have to be factual about the numbers and we have to realise the size of the task.
So what is the answer for women who are at the top end of their sport?
They need to play better players really to kind of raise their game. So obviously if they are playing more of these PTC events or any events that they're allowed to enter and play top players, and yeah, most of them are going to get beat badly. But I think what that'll do is it'll make them go away and realise that there's a lot of work that they can do on their own game.
One woman who had the chance to qualify for this year's World Championship is 10-time Ladies World Champion Rhiannon Evans. She was drawn alongside our very own Ken Doherty in the first round of qualifying at Ponds Forge.
She's got a very good level. She's probably the best lady player that I've ever seen, and she frightened the life out of me in the World Qualifiers, no doubt about that. And it sort of realised to me that she can play on the men's circuit, there's no doubt about that. And if she's playing, as Ronnie said, if she's playing constantly against men, she will improve immensely. And I think they should give her a chance.
It only needs one flag bearer to change all of that if they can really compete on level terms with the men.
There is potential within the women's game for more than just one to forge a path. 24-year-old Ng On Yi from Hong Kong defeated Rhian Evans in the semi-finals on her way to her first world title.
There is not many ladies players to play snooker, so I hope that I could play with some men's player to improve my skills, my snooker skills. So yeah, I want to get closer to the gap with the men. Yeah, like Rhian. I practice 6 hours per day, and our Hong Kong Sports Institute has some facility to help us and a coach to help us. So yeah, I think I could. Come on!
Thank you. Frame 5, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Now you see the match just over an hour, and that was with an opening frame that lasted nearly 27 minutes. Great start for the Welshman, but Ronnie comes storming back to level, going to the mid-session interval. And this isn't straightforward because he can't just come off a side cushion and nestle into the reds, because there's reds either side of the bunch, and those two that we looked at could be made into a plant. Yeah, they're dead set, even though there's a little bit of distance between them. So plenty to think about. Not a bad break-off shot.
Yeah, and kept the black in the open as well. A lot of times this week we've seen people break off and the black gets put out of commission straight away, and then you end up with a long frame.
I know there's a lot of stats around, but how many players has had to think for an hour and 15 seconds and counting off the break-off shot? That's very rare, but he's in such a spot of bother here. I think I might have said an hour and 15 seconds. I meant a minute and 15 seconds now. That would be
a slow match.
I'll tell you what, it was worth waiting on, because it must be very tight. You can see Matthew looking from behind. Ronnie's coming round. Have a look from the other side. So.
A slight shake of the head from Matthew. I think this is not difficult, just to put a touch of right-hand side on to pot this red. The only problem is with the right-hand side, the cue ball's going towards the bunch of reds, so the position isn't easy. But if he doesn't have to swerve it, there's no problem. And so that was the natural angle.
One.
Wow. He's flicked it right, he's left it pinked to the middle. It looked here like he was going to be on nothing.
Well, that's a terrific recovery shot. He was very fortunate to land on the pink there, it has to be said, with that series of little cannons. But now look how he's got the balls. It's over 204 points without reply.
Thank you. 7.
Yeah, that's incredible when you consider how well Matthew started.
Eight.
Maybe, Dennis, the reason Ronnie's been getting so irritated by misses or bad positional shots, maybe he's so up for this that the slightest little mistake is just really annoying him.
Well, he definitely looks more settled now, because
16.
even at the start of the opening frame, you just sensed by looking at him in the seat he wasn't quite right, but the last couple of frames he's looked pretty good. And Dr. Steve Peters, that works with Ronnie,
22.
is in Sheffield. He was in one of the hotels last night. giving a talk
24.
to all the snooker referees and people involved in World Snooker. And for the last couple of seasons, Ronnie's been in a terrific frame of mind. Be trying to get
30.
to 72 there to leave Matthew needing a snooker, and still another 5 reds available. But Matthew can't do anything about this. We know that Matthew's playing well, but if he can't get to the table, he can't score.
$47. $48.
Well on his way again to this 3rd frame in a row.
Thank you.
Hasn't missed a shot with the rest yet in the tournament. 6 out of 6.
56.
That's a poor one.
63.
You will not be happy about that, as you can see. Played for that red to the right centre.
He's a good catcher, isn't he, Stephen?
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 63.
I would never have thrown the chalk up because I'd never have caught it. But he knew he should have secured the frame here. Well held.
No, this is an excellent shot. Just didn't get the cue ball to the baulk cushion. And that was tough from where it was. He has left the red to the right corner, but the problem is that the path of the cue ball is going near to the black.
Yeah, if not the black, it'll go towards that red. That's safe on the left side of the table. How are they going to finish here? I think he's going to get away with this. Well, I say get away with it. There's a slight angle, but what a difficult pot. But he's 63 behind, so he's got to take this on. He hasn't potted a ball for coming up to nearly 35 minutes. Yeah, there's a couple of reds safe here. That's to Ronnie's advantage. This is close. He's made it very difficult for Matthew. The white almost tight on that ball cushion. Well, at first glance, there's no easy path back down the table here. Can't come down the right side because of the 3 reds and the pink. Difficult to come down the left side because of the 2 reds. Now, what's he doing there, Matthew? Oh, I see, yeah. He just forgot as he come back into the area. Ronnie's trying not to laugh, I think, there. Yeah, always check before you come back into the arena, Matthew. Well, the double kiss. He hasn't left that one, I don't think, but he can take... Well, maybe he can cut it in, but he can take the one above the white up into the corner and he'd be on the black. This is a free shot. I mean, maybe he can just sneak this one in, but I prefer the other one. I mean, it goes to the middle pocket also, but if he takes it up into the corner as he looks around at the scoreboard, it would be a free shot. He wouldn't leave anything. It's a slightly easier pot to the middle pocket. I definitely would have fancied that up into the corner and screwed back onto the cushion. He's left a chance here for Matthew.
One.
Just going back to Ronnie's last shot. I mean, he was 63 points in front. I thought if he pots that up into the corner, screws the white back to where the line is, everything's perfectly safe, and he's on the black. If he pots it, and he tried it in the middle, and has left Matthew this chance. Yeah, it would be some clearance, wouldn't it, with the reds as they are? One good pot and
14.
A good angle on the black. He can get over those 3 difficult reds and develop at least one of those, if not a couple of them. just
Okay,
cued
Stevens,
slightly
14.
across that one. He couldn't really get a good angle on the black. The red was almost straight, as you can see.
One.
I think that red next to the green might be available. And that's all he will need after the blue. He's already glanced at the scoreboard. 50 the difference. Blue 55. Well, it won't go. That's why he's tried to move it. But what a shot that is.
6.
It obviously wouldn't pass the green. That's why he attempted to cannon it out. Doesn't really matter about kissing the brown safe. He can tuck him up behind the yellow.
O'Sullivan, 7.
Matthews thinking about it, but he's in a bit of a tough position. He's coming to the table, but barring snookers, Ronnie's won 3 in a row and he leads 3-2.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
How did he find that gap?
One. Seven. 8. $14. 15. O'Sullivan, 15 and the frame.
Well, that's 3 frames in a row for Ronnie O'Sullivan. Since losing the first 2, it's been very impressive. Leads Matthew Stevens 3 frames to 2.
Quietly as possible, please. Thank you.
Yeah, he just missed one with the rest there. He had his extension on, but I was useless with the rest. But what you've got to do is push the cue through in a straight line. And Matthew, just watch the cue, just doesn't go through in that straight line. Just watch the elbow there. That's exactly the same side that I used to miss them too. That's why I prefer to use my left hand on certain shots. Matthew's brilliant with his opposite hand, but he couldn't reach that. He needed the rest. But he's done precious little wrong. He's cued very well. It's just he hasn't had many chances in the last 3 frames, Stephen.
No, Ronnie's been pretty impressive. When he missed that red, when he smashed his cue against the table, he was fortunate not to leave. Here you see when he misses this red thick. Frustration, irritation. Lucky still have a cue working after that, but he was fortunate not to leave the red there, and from then on Matthews had, as you say, precious little to go at. And now at 3-2 down, Needs to get back on track, Matthew, to avoid losing this first session. Nice left Matthew pot on now to the right corner. Stun across off the side cushion for the black. He could choose to play for the pink if it goes to the same pocket. Plays for the black, he doesn't have to hit it as hard.
Wow, I think he might have covered everything there. He'd left Ronnie right in, and then all of a sudden a red appears and blocks the path. That was fortunate. Not an easy plant to judge here. As Matthew looks up at a monitor, he knows this isn't easy. But what a result Matthew had there. Ronnie came to the table, he thought, I've got a nice easy starter, and then a red appeared. Just have a look at this. Once he missed it, he thought, I've left these two reds. Have a look at this for a cannon. And block the path of both reds. Well, he's left the rest on the table, so he was thinking of playing the safety shot, and I think he thought, let's have a go with the difficult plant. I'll be right on the black. I mean, it looks easy when you see that happen there, but that's not easy to judge. I mean, on an American pool table, that's a simple shot. I mean, the pockets are so big, but not on these tight match pockets.
Thank you.
6 or 8 inches between the reds there.
Nine. Just a moment, please, Ronnie.
I need a second. He's just seeing if he can reach it. He wasn't going to play it. He knows that the referee's got a tricky little situation here to get the pink as near to his own spot, and it's got to go in amongst those reds. That's not easy to do in a direct line behind the spot, so it'll be in a line with the brown, blue and black. You need a steady hand to get the pink in amongst those reds.
Thank you. 15.
Absolutely spot on.
$16.
He could play this black with top spin hard, and it would go off the red that's next to the black and into the pack. No, he's chose to play a more conservative shot. Obviously more guaranteed position. There's a chance to play off topspin. It would hit that second red and actually go into the bunch there.
Thank you. 24.
Still hasn't missed one of the rest. Big shot coming up. He's digging down on this. Wasn't easy to control that cue ball. Couldn't get enough spin to get into the bunch, but if he gets nicely on the black, there's a little gap through the reds.
30.
Well, he's a little bit straight, and there is a red at the back there. He's just queuing up, so there is one available. I'm not sure if the other one is available. He may have to go into them after this.
37.
Not just this one available, so this is key. Good pot, good split, and he's in business again. That's okay. I think he's flicked one out. And there might be a little gap to screw through. As you see him 45. Just open the red slightly there. I don't know if he's straight enough or if he has to stump between the pink and the other red. Might just be able to do that. Well, that was so precise 46. There.
Well, I mentioned earlier on when Matthew was 2-0 up that because Ronnie was showing such frustrations, 57. I thought it might be an opportunity for Matthew tonight to get a lead. But it's not turning out that way. Since 2-0, Ronnie's been immense. Still looks 54. Like things are bothering him, but the form he's shown on the table has been excellent.
What a shot that was with the left hand, bridging over two reds. 61. He's a bit unlucky with the kiss, but there's a red will still go past the blue and green. But that awkward cueing with his opposite hand, I mean, how good was that? Look at that for an awkward situation. And a cutback as well. Well, he's had a bit of a result here. He's missed the red, but the red could have ran anywhere. And he snookered Matthew on the red, and he's left it awkward with the brown. So the best possible outcome for Ronnie there, and with a 61-point advantage. Matthew thought he might just get a chance after that missed pot. What a pop that was. What a shot he's pulled off there. I mean, the brown is hampering him slightly, and it wasn't tight on the cushion. Still a little tricky black though, but he's going to cannon into one of the reds here to hold the white at this end of the table. Wow. Now, have they all covered each other? Looking at Matthew's body language, I think they're all covering each other.
8.
The black looked like it was going to stay out there. I'll have a look at that. Everything blocked.
Matthew Stevens, 8.
The red in between the pink and black. Might be playing to the right corner. So be careful if he misses it not to catch a bolt colour. Nice flick to brown, but as you can see, it's finished okay.
This red does pass the blue, I think. Just, and he could play it in such a way that he screws the white back. The yellow or brown would be available. So if this goes in, he should take the frame.
He did this a lot in his first match as well. Getting down the shot, then getting up, then getting down.
It was as if he was moving around a little bit on the shot there, which you don't see from Ronnie. He seemed to, not when he delivered the cue there, but as he was feathering the ball, you know, just before he delivered the cue. 83%, not very high for Ronnie. This could give him a great chance. If he knocks this in, he can get himself onto the black.
One.
Well, if the red touching the pink doesn't pot, that's a poor shot from Matthew.
Well, he played that with his opposite hand and didn't manage to pull it off. He's a pretty good player with his left hand, but not quite in the same league that Ronnie is. So that attempt for the opposite hand looks as if it's cost Matthew this frame. And he wouldn't want me to remind him 10 years ago when he lost to Sean Murphy. He had a lead, he missed a blue with his left hand. And Sean Murphy came storming back and won that World Championship all them years ago. 10 years. Frame well and truly over.
17.
Doesn't matter about that.
20.
So he's lost the first two frames.
20 and a frame.
But it's 4 in a row for the Ronnie O'Sullivan show. And he'd be delighted. He takes a 2-frame advantage at 4-2. Yeah, he had a lot to do there, Matthew Stevens, but he did. He's very good with his opposite hand, but he just took a red on there. I thought he would knock it in. There was still a glimmer of hope at this stage if he had to just knocked this in and got on the black. I mean, he looks good with the left hand, but he just overcut that.
Yeah, the poor shot was the shot before it. It should never have been anywhere near there. He had 2 reds in the open. It was a comfortable shot off the black. It was a poor positional shot. So he needs to be careful, Matthew. Doesn't want this first session slipping away from him.
At least Ronnie now knows that he can't go in to tomorrow's afternoon session behind, and there's every chance that he could have a lead. 2 more frames to be played. And then they will play another 8 frames tomorrow afternoon. And then the following day, it could be a possible 9 frames, but it remains to be seen how many will be played in that final session. He's had runs of 100 and 47, 63 and 61. So Matthew hasn't had many opportunities. Matthew made his highest break, a break of 82, frame 2. Hasn't really been in amongst the balls since that.
Thank you, frame 7. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
That's another very good break-off shot from Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's had a couple like that where he's given Matthew something to think about from the break-off. I was just looking to see if there was a possible plant to the middle pocket, but that was because he was worried about leaving Ronnie up this end of the table. He obviously feels that the 2 reds are not a plant. Ronnie's having a quick look at them. There's nowhere they'd be on. Matthew wouldn't have played that shot. See, he can't see. They are a plant, but he can't see enough of them to take it on.
Risk the cross double and bring the cue ball back up to the balk end from this red and double it across to the right middle. Very good cue ball. Pretty comfortable for Ronnie to just roll the cue ball off one cushion into the bunch.
Well, not the best. Bad misjudgment there. So this is the first real chance. Little shake of the head there, but this is the first real chance that Matthew's had for quite some time. Can he find that rhythm that he had in the two opening frames? Been kept off the table for quite long spells.
Eight. Nine.
Well, I think he thought he'd missed that. I don't know if it's my imagination, but I think these pockets are just playing slightly easier than they were last year. There's quite a few gone in and they hit the corner of the pocket. They certainly weren't doing that last year. Well, somebody sneezed somewhere in the crucible.
$16.
Be good for Matthew to try and win a frame in one visit, just to show Ronnie that he's still in this match, still playing well, still full of confidence.
$17. $22.
Matthew up to 30 seconds. His average shot time, but there was an awful lot of thinking that he had to do on a few occasions. He's back with the left hand again. I hope he makes a better job of it this time than in the previous frame.
$23.
I know he has made century breaks with his opposite hand, as Matthew. And if he gets one good split on the reds here, he'll give himself a terrific chance. Keep your eye on the pot and let the white take care of itself. That'll do nicely if that red bounces off the cushion. And there's one gone over the corner.
30.
It could have been better, but that one that's gone over the corner might just come to his rescue. This one to the middle, it's a little bit awkward cueing with the black there. He's just got to bridge over the black. Oh, hold your horses there.
31.
Well, I'm surprised he followed the cue ball through so far, because with that red over the yellow pocket, all he needed to do was leave an angle in the blue. It's still okay, and this is now a great chance to take the 7th frame. One good positional shot here.
$37.
Just having a look at a few different places he could put the cue ball to leave himself a choice of reds. That's a bit too hard. Needs to pull up. Needs to pull up. Wow. Is he just okay? Has he got one to the left corner? Just about.
$42.
He just needed one chance in frame 2, and he made a break of 82.
47.
He'd like to clinch this frame with this visit, just to send a little message to his opponent that he's back queuing well again.
48.
Yeah, you need the extension just to reach, you know, once the white's level with the blue. Unless you're really tall, it's very difficult to reach that far.
These 2 open reds with 2 blacks would be enough to leave Ronnie needing snookers.
55.
Now he has such a lovely angle in the black, I'm sure he'll go into the bunch. It's only 5 reds. You have to say he'd be very unlucky not to be on one. But don't miss the black.
Michael Stevens, 55.
That could be a massive error in this match for Matthew Stevens if Ronnie were to clear up here. See his reaction there, he can't believe he missed the black.
How many times have we seen it? The player just takes his concentration away from the pot.
One.
And this is the sort of challenge that Ronnie O'Sullivan relishes. What a pinch this would be. Awful long way to go, but Matthew knows what he's capable of.
Just got a little bit of work to do with this red.
7.
Probably have to come off 3 cushions to get in a colour. They play for the black.
Eight.
Well, I think he played round on the blue, but once he cannoned that red, he's finished plumb on the black.
It's 55-8 down, but you'd have to make Ronnie favourite now for this frame.
And a key shot coming up, and
15.
going to use the rest. That's the first one he's missed. And he blows a raspberry. The first one he's missed in the tournament with a rest.
Yeah, that'll annoy him because those are the opportunities you want to take. You can pinch frame of your opponent. It's massive in this World Championship.
There's the difference. 40 points. He needs red. Color red. But he's not sure about this red. So he's taking a more difficult one. He's got to be careful with the yellow. He's close to it with his sleeve. Very close to the yellow. The reason he screwed back there, because he knew if he missed the red, if he didn't screw back, he'd leave the one past the pink. This is quite a thin cut. Wouldn't it be ironic if Ronnie pots the yellow and rolls that red in the middle pocket? Because Matthew didn't think it would go. I think he's looking at the 2 reds near the pink, though. And if he does get these 2 reds with 2 colours and he does drop in behind the red, it'll be interesting to see if he does pot it. Because Matthew thought he couldn't roll it in the middle.
Four.
Well, he's got a choice now.
11.
Does he try and get himself on a colour to move the red? He's back looking to see if he could roll it in. Matthew thought he couldn't. Let's see what Ronnie thinks. He's still not sure about that red, is he? He just cannot make his mind up. Matthew looked long and hard at it and felt it wouldn't go. It's quite an acute angle, that. Well, he hasn't got an angle to move it now from the yellow. He can pot the green and roll in behind it, but will it go? You want to get as close to it as possible. Well, he's back. They just can't make their mind up as to whether that goes. Has he got a little bit of angle on the yellow to get in behind it? Well, we'll find out, because this is where Matthew was sitting. And he thought he couldn't pot it. Ronnie might be just a little bit closer to it.
15.
Maybe Matthew's wishing he had another look. So you think one positional shot here, blue to yellow. And this is perfect.
20.
Well, Matthew had a break of 55 and every chance now he's going to lose this frame.
22. $25.
15 behind. He needs the 4 remaining colours to pinch this frame.
$29.
Absolutely spot on. What a steal this is going to be.
$34. $40.
He's pinched the frame from the Welshman. Matthew Stevens had a break of 55. He didn't think the red would go in the middle pocket, but Ronnie eventually potted it. He's gone on to take the frame, and he now leads 5 frames to 2. Well, that was a bad frame for Matthew to lose. He was in complete control of it. He looked good. He was back to the form that he showed in frame 2 when he made an 82 break, and he couldn't make his mind up whether the red would go, and then he tried the more difficult one, and Ronnie wasn't too far away from this position, maybe a little bit closer, so Matthew thought, I'll take this, screw back, I won't leave the red, that's 2 from the pink, and he wobbled it, and then, well, you can't really criticise him. It was one of those, he didn't think he could pot that in the middle pocket. He was close to knocking that in, but Ronnie did eventually roll that red in.
I think the real disappointment though for Matthew is when he was on that break. He missed a black off his spot to split the pack, and that was game ball. That was the careless shot.
Thank you. The 8th and final frame of this session. Matthew Stevens to break.
Matthew then gets the final frame of this session underway. Well, we haven't even been playing for 2 hours, and the first frame lasted 27 minutes, so. There's the average frame time, just under 16.5 minutes. There's the highest breaks, and there's the average shot time. could do with this final frame, Matthew. Having led 2-0, he wouldn't want to lose the session 6-2. Well, it looked very edgy early on, but played some terrific snooker.
He's just looking to see if he puts his red to the right centre, follows through and gets a cannon on the red and pink.
One.
And we head it to the far right corner.
Oh, this is tough. He's so close to the pink. It might be dead straight, but even that, if you get a little touch of unwanted side, you can throw that pink offline. And he has to strike down on it a little bit. Well, we're right behind him. We're right down his arm, so we'll know if the shot's in. I think he was going to miss it to the left. Oh, he's queuing there. Oh, that's right in the middle of the pocket. That's a terrific shot.
Eight. $15.
Yeah, he wanted to leave this pink a lot straighter. Just misjudged the cannon slightly. And I don't think that red next to the yellow is available. We just show you the cannon here. You want to hit it further on the left so that you could stay in amongst the reds. See, it's awkward now because if he plays off the balk cushion, be careful he doesn't catch one of those colours on the way down or the way back. Just a fraction made all the difference there. Well, he'd love to take that one again.
21.
I can only think he was trying to miss the blue and leave that red next to the yellow for the right middle.
Joe Stevens, 21.
shot frees the black up. It's a bit awkward with the two reds up the other end of the table. Bit of a problem here for Ronnie with that red over the middle pocket. He's going to have to be very precise with his next shot. No, he was in a bit of a hole there. He's left a great chance for Matthew. This red's available and he can get onto the black. It seems a natural angle. Just checking to see if the black spot's occupied. I mean, the pink's in the open, but it's a natural angle here to head up to the black. Just a little bit of noise from the other side in between frames. That was a natural. He's on the pink or the black.
Seven. Eight.
Very important visit to the table, this, for Matthew Stevens in the context of this match. Can't see him winning the match from 6-2 down, I have to be honest. At 5-3, he's still in it.
Yeah, the black spot's occupied, and as you can see there, 69 points is the target. I believe Ronnie needing a snooker.
60.
So 100% concentration required here. We've seen him lose concentration in the previous frame when he missed an easy black off the spot. He had a 55 break in that frame and lost it.
$23.
Yeah, he was in quite a difficult situation. Matthew played a terrific shot, putting that red over the middle pocket and forcing Ronnie to try and get back to the balk area and cover that.
28.
But Cannon spoiled that, and he's well on his way to taking this final frame. And as Stephen said,
29.
It's a huge frame in the context of the match.
Black ball.
They don't usually have to nominate a colour, but when that's sort of a situation, he nominated the black.
36.
So 57 ahead. He's creeping slowly towards the winning line in this frame.
$37.
Been a very entertaining session of snooker, has to be said. We've had a little bit of everything. We had a century break from Ronnie. We had Ronnie nearly snapping his cue early on. It obviously hasn't affected it the way he's played.
Four.
Looking forward to tomorrow's session between these two great players. They're on in the afternoon.
$50.
There's the putt success rate. Ronnie's still at 93%. Matthew just creeping towards that 90%. Putting more long putts is Matthew than Ronnie. But overall, Ronnie would be quite pleased, that you would have to say. 2-0 down. Matthew started very well, but Ronnie had 4 great frames in a row.
Thanks. 56. 57.
Suppose you'd say 5 or 6 of the frames have been won with one visit.
63. $64. Black ball. $71.
Doesn't matter about that. He started well, didn't Matthew? He won 2 frames, but then Ronnie won 5 in a row. But that was an important last frame for the Welshman, and he takes it. But Ronnie O'Sullivan wins this session 5 frames to 3.
As quietly as possible, please. Thank you.
We'll be back on this table at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's a juggernaut, Judd Trump, taking on the man from Hong Kong, Mark O'Fu. That'll be a good match. Good night.